Good morning. So good right now. I just want the pizza in my mouth. The pizza. Warm it up. Cold pizza and just wait. What? What the heck? I got like a really good card. Actually, it sucks, but this is a good opportunity to talk about Magic.
So, here we go. Magic the Gathering is a collectible trading card game. Each deck is made of 60 cards. Your opponent gets a deck, and you get a deck. In this game, the goal is to kill your opponent, or reduce their life to 0. The most common way to do this is by playing creature cards. Just like the one I found earlier, they all have a name, mana cost, type, set and rarity, text and abilities, as well as power and toughness. In order to play a creature card, or any other kind of card for that matter, you need to pay the mana cost as shown in the upper right corner of the card. Mana comes in 5 colors: islands for blue, forests for green, plains for white, mountains for red, and swamps for black. In addition to these 5 colors of mana, lands also have a type as well as set and rarity, just like the creature cards do. To begin the game, roll a dice to determine which player will go first, then draw 7 cards. If you don't like the cards that you drew, you can put them at the bottom of your deck and draw 1 less instead. On your turn, start by drawing 1 card, then you may play 1 land card from your hand. You may take the same actions on each turn following this. In this example, we go to turn 3 and decide to play a Deadly Recluse. Notice that this costs 1 green mana and 1 mana of any color in addition. So to pay this cost, we tap the forest, tap the plains, and then set the card from our hand onto the battlefield and spend the mana to play the card. In Magic, cards are called spells, so when you play a card from your hand, it's called casting a spell. Additionally, when you tap a land or any other card on the battlefield, it just means that you turn it 90 degrees, and essentially is the same as activating the card's ability. Now we need to talk about the different parts of a turn. Each turn is actually very structured and includes 5 phases. The first is the beginning phase, which has an untap step, an upkeep step, and a draw step. We've already covered these previously. The next phase is the main phase. In this phase, you're able to play creatures, spend your mana any way you want to play spells out of your hand. Next is the combat phase. You start off with your declare attacker step, so when I swing in with this Deadly Recluse, it has the possibility to deal 1 damage to my opponent as it has 1 power. Assuming it goes unblocked on their declare blocker step, it can deal 1 damage to my opponent on the damage step, ending the combat phase. This brings you to your second main phase, which is identical to your first main phase, and finally your end phase to finish your turn. As you may have noticed, there are different locations in the game. There's your hand, the battlefield, your deck, your discard pile, and your exile pile. So far, we've only talked about land and creature cards, but there are actually a lot of other kinds of cards we need to discuss. Instant cards can be cast at any time. Just pay the cost at the top of the card like usual, and then follow the effect that's stated on the card. Sorcery cards are identical, except they can only be cast on your main phase. Discard instants and sorceries once they are used. Enchantments and artifacts are both permanents, meaning that they stay on the battlefield once they are cast. Enchantments also have a subtype called an aura, meaning that they enchant another permanent to give it a specific effect. Artifacts and enchantments can also both provide global effects. Artifacts have a subtype called an equipment that require you to pay the equipped cost to attach it to a creature. Many permanents have activated abilities, which are written in the form of a cost followed by an outcome. As you can see, these creatures both have activated abilities. There are also triggered abilities that take place only once certain conditions are met. And finally, keyword abilities. These come in all shapes and sizes. It's best to just follow the directions written on the card in each individual instance. In summary, this video is by no means exhaustive. Magic the Gathering has an immersive history, and there are many rules and aspects to the game that simply cannot be covered in 5 minutes. Thank you for watching, and feel free to check back for future content.